Howdy, everybody, and welcome to a Tuesday edition, a Top 5 Tuesday edition of the B Team. I'm Ryan Brauninger. He's Richard Zane. Pulling the strings today is Cade Bickham behind the glass. And holy crap, we got a sponsor. And we are so thankful now to announce that we are presented by Southwood Valley Animal Hospital. They're a full-service veterinary clinic offering tailor-made wellness plans for your pet, sick visits, daytime emergency care, advanced surgical capabilities, preventative medicine, and much more. They're Aggie-owned and operated. Very important for this show. Aggie-owned and operated by husband, Dr. Justin, and wife, Dr. Lauren. They are classes of 2014, 2015, and 2018. That veterinary team, they will take care of you and your pet like they are your family. So thank you to Southwood Valley Animal Hospital.
Great job on the read, buddy. That was a long one,
trying to make it
was impressive.
They sent us plenty of talking points. They're remodeling right now, so very interested to go over there and see that.
Yeah.
I know you don't have your dog, Scully, in College Station.
Yeah.
But if you did.
For sure, Southwood Valley Animal Hospital. And the other thing to note on the pet front is that I'm constantly getting... Hold on,
I'm trying to get Cade to hit us with some AC. It's real hot in here.
It is pretty warm in here. I'm constantly fending off an offensive attack. Like every now and then I'll just see like a volley of rockets come my way, and it's the, can we get a puppy? Can we get a puppy? Can we get a puppy? Dude, I want a puppy so bad. I want a dog so bad. It's just not convenient right now. You know, I'm in a second floor of an apartment building. We don't have a backyard. Not really great outside, like green space for the dog to go to. But, you know, when we eventually do get a dog, because it's 1,000% in the future, love dogs, grew up with dogs my entire life, we're going to take them to Southwood Valley Animal Hospital.
That you're not going to get stopped being asked about getting a puppy because we have a real child on the way, and I keep getting bombarded with, when can we get another dog? I'm like, let's get the human out first.
We're getting Bo.
And we are going to...
Bo is going to be a dog.
I hope he's a dog.
He's a dog.
I hope he's going to be a dog.
Bo's going to be a dog.
So it's, speaking of dogs, it's just me and Dolly at the house this week. My wife left today for a work outing in Arizona. So she texts me. She landed safely. And comes to find out that when you travel solo and pregnant, people annoy you more than they typically do. And my wife is that person that typically gets annoyed by people. So I'm hoping she can get out and get away from everything. That's what these work trips are designed for. And she can unwind a little bit. This is probably her last trip without a child in her life. So I'm hoping that she's able to unwind. She's been working her tail off, and she deserves some kickbacks, some R&R.
Yeah, she does. She's a rock star.
Hey, so
years.
Top 5 Tuesday. If you're first time listening to this show, don't forget, hey, if you're listening to us and you've got us pulled up on the YouTube stream, like the video. It only helps the algorithm. It does nothing. It does nothing to hurt you. It does anything to help us. The show's growing. As you can see, like we said, we have our first sponsor. We've had a lot of people come. Some people come to us last night in Reed Arena and say, really enjoy the new show.
Yeah.
So there are people listening. So if you are listening to us, click that like button on the TexAgs YouTube page. We're trying to get Cade Bickham a new pair of glasses. Okay. He didn't know that.
Cade, do you need a new pair of glasses?
No, but we're trying to hustle people for money. Okay. And Cade looks like somebody. Look at Cade. Switch the camera to you.
Yeah.
Look, couldn't you feel sorry for that face? Guy needs a new pair of glasses.
For only 30 cents a day, you can make sure Cade Bickham has his new pair of glasses. Dude, real talk though, I need to schedule my eye appointment because I'm down to like my last month of daily contacts.
Your eyes are going to be so important. You look at a screen all day.
Yeah, I need to get it taken care of. And I actually do need a new pair of glasses. I wear contacts every day. I have a pair of glasses that I wear at home. I'd like to start wearing my glasses more, but the current prescription's a couple years old.
You ought to look for those glasses that are good for looking at screens.
Yeah, well, you get them. I have them on. It's got like a blue light tint. I have it on the current glasses I have right now.
Like blue blocker sunglasses. Do you remember those? Or are you too young for those?
I was probably.
Those were like when I was in high school, early college.
Somebody said I should go to Warby Parker. Oh, and shout out to Sandman, our favorite Longhorns, back in the chat.
Okay, he was the one that Warby Parker.
No, he didn't say that. It was somebody else. I just wanted to say shout out to the chat.
You should look. So blue blocker sunglasses were typically worn by people 65 and older while they were driving. They were like these giant, it made you look like a bug. They were these giant black frames that basically wrapped around, what's the guy, was that on Star Trek?
Yeah.
The same guy that did Reading Rainbow. What was that actor's name?
Star.
LeVar Burton?
Yes,
LeVar
Burton.
Look at, see, if Cade had real glasses, he'd have been able to get that way quicker.
Time out.
Yeah,
Can
yeah.
we go ahead and change our quest? Can we start raising money to buy Cade a pair of LeVar Burton glasses?
Or blue blockers.
Let's do it.
Blue blocker sunglasses that are prescription for Cade Bickham.
I would be eternally grateful. Glasses are very expensive.
When is the last
Very
time you've been to the
expensive.
dentist? Because that's what they give you now.
I'm not going to answer
Yikes.
just because it's been a while. My mom's been on me for about it.
Can I? Well, no free ads. I'll tell you where to go. I got
Okay,
a great
Yeah, that would actually be really helpful. And if you know a PCP too, like,
primary care physician.
yeah,
My guy's
I'm
getting
taking
booked out.
recommendations there.
You know, it's hard to find.
It's hard to find a good PCP here.
No, there's
That
good
aren't
ones.
already booked out.
They're booked out like
Yeah.
crazy. So I've had the same one since I moved here. It just so happened to be a 12 player's dad and a former Texas A&M baseball player's dad, Kyle
yeah?
Richardson.
Okay.
His dad's been my PCP since basically 2010 or 11. And I tried to get in with him, and I've known him for, like, we have a relationship outside of him being my doctor, obviously. I tried to get in with him, and it was like I called in August and just, I do a physical every year, get blood work, all that stuff.
As you should. You're taking care of yourself. Good job.
And I called in August, and the date they gave me was December. Now, they called me, and they were like, hey, we have an opening. So I think I got it done probably mid-October.
Yeah.
But that was crazy for them to be booked out that much. And when I got in there, I asked him, I was like, man, you're booked like crazy. Like, I know. He's like, I don't know how it's going to stop or slow down.
Yeah. I mean, I've been trying to find a PCP, or my mom has been trying to get me to find a PCP in College Station since we moved down here, which was back in 2016. And I haven't done it. Haven't gotten around to it. And as I get older, I'm 28. I'm going to be 29 in January. It's not that old, but I'm also starting to realizing the value in really taking care of yourself and monitoring stuff like that. You know my story and how one of my best buds randomly passed away literally a year ago. So that really didn't spark me to start taking care of myself. But, after the anniversary of my friend Bradley's passing, kind of sparked something in me like, hey, need to find a PCP, find a dentist, go to the optometrist, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Start taking better care of myself.
I'd go to
better late than never.
Cardiologist.
I've never gone to a cardiologist
So-
as I hide my energy drink.
I went to one. I can give you that recommendation too.
Sure, it'd be great.
And I think I was 37 when I went. It was the first time I'd gone. And, they hooked me up to all their machines, and they get it's pretty sick, like the imagery they can take of your heart, put you on a treadmill and get your heart moving and stuff like that, see how it responds to stuff. And if they give you all clear, they'll tell you not to come back for like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's not something that you have to
So
keep
they
up
get you
with.
moving on a treadmill? Have you been doing stuff like have you been running? Like maybe
No,
if you work out, maybe if you run, you'll be faster than Kay Nagley or something like that.
Office inside jokes here on the
Sorry.
B team. But it's a cool experience as long as they tell you everything's okay. Like,
Yeah. I'd be too nervous.
But again, as you get older, man, and I've had guys that I played with in college that have passed away, and some of them due to afflictions that started happening to them in college. And it's just like, man, if I can avoid it. I was always the tough guy, right? Too tough to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
I still do not like taking medicine. Like, I will avoid medicine at all costs unless I have to have it. But I do want to monitor what's going on. And if I feel something like, okay, like I need to get my heart checked out or my blood pressure or anything like that, as you get older, and especially now that I've got a child coming,
For
all
sure.
that kind of
You've
stuff.
definitely got a renewed reason to go make sure you're all checked out. One thing, and I'm going to try and do this segue here into your topic, your number one topic on your rundown. I'm glad I didn't have an EKG on Saturday night, because that thing would have told me I was extremely unhealthy.
Yeah, we got to talk about the World Series. And
Real quick, TB40 on the premium chat says congrats on the sponsor, guys.
oh, awesome.
Yeah,
thank
you also got a congrats from Sandman on the upcoming baby.
Oh.
He congratulated you and the missus.
Yeah, we are very excited.
Thank you, TB40.
It come to find out, as all of my buddies who are my age that have already had their children have told me plenty of times, they are expensive. So that is starting to happen right now. We're
think I'm
starting
just
to buy
gonna get a
stuff,
dog.
and dogs are not cheap either.
Yikes.
unless you go to, I bet Southwood Valley Animal Hospital will hook you up, though.
Thank you.
All right, so we do have to talk about the World Series. There's no question about that. And it is a very polarizing topic for some of our regular listeners because I get tired of Richard talking about the Dodgers. So
get over it.
This will be, barring some crazy trade or whatever in the offseason, this will be the last Dodgers topic between now and spring training or opening day next year.
And this is a top-of-mind sports show. We are going to remind you this is a top-of-mind sports show. Nothing was more top of mind this past weekend than Game 6s and Game 7s of the World Series. Game 6 or 7, the Dodgers won both Game 6 and 7. Cade Bickham, give me it. 6 or 7? Which game did you enjoy more, 6 or 7?
Game 7 was amazing.
Like,
that was that was legitimately
mind.
one of the best baseball games I've ever watched.
I also saw somewhere on my Instagram reel scrolling that the major sporting events for 2025 are done. When you factor in all of the tennis majors, the golf majors, all of that, the big times the big four as we call them in North America, the Champions League, all of that, it's all over. World Series was the most competitive back and forth of all of them.
Did you see the numbers that came out? So there was the viewership for Game 7 of the World Series was 50% more than the final game of the NBA Finals.
Well, I saw somewhere, and I can't verify it, don't know if it's true, and I honestly have a hard time believing it, that worldwide, Game 7 of this year's World Series drew more people than the Super Bowl. Doesn't that sound crazy?
No, I don't, because the Japanese part of it with
Japan and Canada
and Korea.
And Korea, because Hae-Seong Kim.
Yeah, Hae-Seong Kim. And hand up. I thought Hae-Seong Kim should have been batting for Miguel Rojas against Hoffman in the 9th inning on Saturday night. Hand up. I was wrong, and thank God I was.
Dave Roberts.
Rajay Davis moment.
Dave Roberts covered himself in a lot of glory. He really did.
And
for all the criticism.
Yeah, for sure. And again, hand up. I was wrong. I even said this to my dad on the phone Saturday night after they won. He managed a hell of a game on both Friday and Saturday to win Game 6 and 7. It was pretty impressive.
Well, it was an all-time game in Game 7. Like there were so many, as a neutral even, like heart-racing, jaw-dropping moments, and it's the beauty of baseball. And Kate, I should have sent this to you to play to segue ourselves into talking about the actual game, but there is a famous clip of Skip Bertman giving a speech, and he talks about why baseball is the perfect game, why 90 feet is the perfect distance between home and first base, because if you hit a ground ball at the shortstop, I don't care how fast the runner is, if he catches it clean and throws it clean, he's going to be out by a step. But if he bobbles or has a second thought, he's safe by a step. Or if there's a runner at first and there's a base hit to right field, the runner and the throw are going to arrive to third base almost at the same time. Or you start talking about the angles and the distance for a double cut with a ball in the gap, and you have to have the infielders perfectly aligned, and one good throw from the outfielder's got to lead to a good throw from the infielder to the catcher. And if it's all done right, the ball arrives just about the same time as a runner. He just talks about the perfect nature of baseball. And because there's so much math and geometry involved in baseball, and because there's not a clock dictating the tempo, there is now.
Used to not be,
but
right?
there still really isn't. You just have to throw a pitch with the tempo. But there's no, the game's not over when the clock's done. The game's over once you record 27 outs before the other team does.
Yes.
And so there was so much to break down. And it came down to a home run by Miguel Rojas, a guy that hit how many during the regular season?
I don't know how many
7
total, but he hadn't hit a home run against a right-handed pitcher all year.
I think in the broadcast I heard them say 7 in the regular season.
So they get the game tied on that against the guy who had been unhittable.
Yeah.
And then the Jays rally in the bottom of the 9th, and wouldn't you know it, the ball is hit at him with a drawn-in infield, and he makes a throw home. And there's so much coaching minutia that our coaches group chat for 12 was just fired up, like just bam, 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 text about everything. And they talked about Isaiah Kiner-Falefa's primary and secondary lead from third base. And he said in the postgame, I just didn't want to get doubled up by a line drive. And the general rule is you play as close, you take your lead away from the bag as far away as your nearest fielder.
Yeah.
So you're as far off the bag as the third baseman is.
Okay.
Now, the problem with that is he said he didn't want to get doubled up on a line drive and he didn't want to get backpicked by Will Smith. With a left-handed hitter, I think the back pick from the catcher, obviously he's got a clear throwing window, is a much more realistic possibility than the line drive, especially if you look at, do you remember who the hitter was?
It was Ernie Clement, wasn't it?
No, it was Addison Barger.
Oh, yeah, because it was Ernie Clement that flew the ball
to
deep, the left center field.
Another brilliant move,
and
because Andy Pajes has been in the game for like 4 minutes.
And those two guys, man, fantastic postseasons and World Series. They were going to go down as all-time Dodger killers if they finish it off.
So Barger, you look at his spray chart in his career, he's hit one line drive to the third baseman.
Wow. In
his entire career. He's hit like 412 ground balls to the right side.
Wow.
And so you have, to me, the old baseball rule, if you didn't know who you were playing against and you never seen Addison Barger hit, if it was a travel baseball or even like a high school baseball playoff game, you're going, hey, you can't get doubled up on a line drive as close as your nearest fielder on your secondary lead. But if you have that data available, then the only thing you're worried about is the back pick. The only thing you're worried about, the back pick. So in that scenario, if you're just worried about the back pick, then the third base coach is on the third baseman. So as soon as the third baseman starts making moves toward the back, he's screaming, right? So it gets your tempo sheet playing fast there anyway, because you know that's a possibility. So
I have that video ready.
Do you have the whole thing? Okay.
Yeah, the bird's eye.
Yeah, so can you stop it?
Yeah, I can, yeah.
Okay, let's stop it at the very start of the play.
Okay,
so we're far away, but look, so let's just look at Connor Follett at third base. He's closer to third.
He's not nearly far enough off.
Than Max Muncy. Okay. Now, we've said this before. I've talked about it before on TexAgs Live. So if you're a regular listener to TexAgs Live, you've heard me say this, especially if you watch my Brauny's baseball breakdowns. What does infield in mean? If we're playing the infield in, okay, that means obviously the runner at third is important. But in doesn't have to be on the grass. In can be, I'm as far enough in to make sure I can get that guy out at home.
Yep.
So if it's Usain Bolt running at third,
I got to be way further.
I got to be further in. If I don't have a great arm, I've got to be further in. If I've got a big arm and my range isn't great, I need to back up. Right? Like you're playing. There's guidelines to this. There's no dead set rules. So if you can see where Rojas is playing, he's right, probably a step in front of the baseline, between the baseline and the cut of the grass.
Yeah, I can't really see because the camera's in my way. But
hold on.
Yeah, I see him.
Wait. Let me whip out the telestrator for this.
Cade
Bickham's gonna go next level.
Draw on it for us,
He's gonna
Cade.
Draw for us, guys.
Whip that thing out, Cade, and draw for us.
We are seeing some next level production.
Nick Savage couldn't do this.
Like just coming to his head, like he is in the moment doing this. Yes,
yeah,
so there's IKF at third base.
So you're wanting that distance
Rojas
to be even. Typically, you'd want it even with as far off as the bag as the third baseman. But like we said, Barger, the hitter, doesn't hit the ball there. So he could be further down toward the cutout of the third base coach's box probably and still beat the throw back on a back pick. Now, he's got Rojas circled. To me, he's like one step in front of the baseline. So he's not all the way in, okay? You can roll it, Cade. You stop it once the ball's put in play.
So, yeah, this is when the ball gets put in play. Rojas is still right, or IKF is still right there.
He's still inside of Muncy.
He basically hasn't moved.
Yeah.
And Rojas has come up to the cut of the grass, and he needs to move this way to get that ball.
Yeah, he takes a step to his right and a little bit back because this is not an easy hop. He gets kind of an in-between hop.
No, and he stumbles too.
It's a great play just to glove it cleanly. Okay, so play it through the stumble right before the throw. Okay, stop it. Right there, people don't realize how hard this is for infielders. And I actually talked to a really high IQ football guy about this over the weekend. And I was like, I don't know what the football equivalent would be. This is an insanely hard throw to make.
It's like a fadeaway jumper, basically.
Well, I think too, it's just the visual of you throwing home. You don't do it much. It's not practiced a ton. It should probably be practiced more. You could argue that it should be practiced more because when you're throwing home, it's very important. But these opportunities don't present themselves very much for you to give a ton of practice time to them. You understand what I'm saying?
Sure.
But for Rojas, to stumble and then keep his pulse and heart rate down and not freak out to make this throw. So if you go back to A&M's season last year, it's kind of a similar situation against Missouri. The ball was hit to Caden Kent at shortstop, and he was too far in. It was hit pretty hard. He bobbled it, and after he bobbled it, he freaked out. He went too fast. Miguel Rojas, just the heart rate slowed down for him to reset his sights and understand he's got a little bit of time. He's got a good arm. Because of he stumbles, this isn't a double play ball, but they have to have that runner out at home. I'm actually surprised that the Dodgers didn't go 5 infielders here.
Frankly, I don't think it's a double play ball either way because the shortstop was playing in as well. I don't think they were not playing.
Well, it's a home to first double play.
Oh, well, okay, yes, that's true. My bad.
It's a home to first double play.
So when they actually made the defensive replacement right before this, and when they were bringing Tommy Edman in, they didn't say anything, and
I thought he was going to be fifth.
I'm thinking he's bringing the fifth infielder because Tommy Edman's utility guy, played second base earlier in the series, and under no circumstances did I think it was going to be Pages going into play center field.
Well, it was a right move because you have to have your best arms out there. And I'm sure they're looking at all the data and going, man, Barger does hit the ball in the air quite a bit. Like, am I going to forfeit a medium depth fly ball that's just in the wrong spot because I've got 2 outfielders and that's how we're going to lose? So anyway, Pages comes up, keeps his wits about him, and makes the throw to the plate. Now, what's different about throws to the Rojas? Excuse me. What's different about throws to the plate for the catcher compared to all the other infielders?
I mean, the bag it's
even with the ground.
Even or sometimes concave, depending on the ballpark.
Yes. So you don't have any leverage if you're the catcher to press and stretch toward the ball.
Yeah.
So if it is outside of the frame of your body, it's tough to keep that foot down. I've actually seen a lot of coaches, they'll tell their catchers to come up and straddle the plate. And once I see the line of the throw, think about this, I step with my left foot toward the throw. So the plate's between my feet. I'm not touching the plate when the throw's made. When the throw is made and I see the line, I step and catch with my left and I drag my right behind me. So that way I'm sure I'm touching the plate. This throw is a little off to the right, the first base side of Will Smith. And he does come off the plate just ever so slightly but gets it back down.
Barely too. Barely.
So you talk about game of inches. This is inches away from the Blue Jays winning the World Series.
And also I saw a lot of people talking about if IKF just runs through home plate instead of sliding, he's safe and the game is over because sliding slows you down.
Sliding does slow you down. If sliding kept you the same speed, then 100-meter dash competitors would slide at the finish line or they would dive.
It's also the hardest base to slide into.
Especially feet first. Now, he does a good job of getting his cleat down. But if you're going to slide feet first into home plate, most of the time, that front foot, because again, home plate's flat, not elevated, that front foot's going to raise up. So you're going to have to either put it down or your trail leg is the one that ends up touching it first. If you do put your toe down ahead of in the dirt before you get to the plate, it's going to slow you down even more because of the drag. Mm-hmm. I would have liked to seen Connor Falefa run through the base standing up, or dive and touch it with his hand.
I'm glad he didn't. I am glad he didn't.
But what a play. I mean, just an incredible – everything was – the margins on that were as paper thin as they could possibly be both ways.
It was amazing. It was cinema, as the kids say.
Brilliant baseball.
The dramatics were off the charts, and then – next pitch, 2 pitches later, is the fly ball to left center field, and they almost killed Kike Hernandez.
Andy Pages, he mossed him.
Yeah, he did. He actually ended up on a NFL countdown on Sunday morning. They did say he got mossed.
That's hilarious.
Well, and then we got to talk about Yoshinobu Yamamoto. And for everybody it was clear to me when I was scrolling during that game on Twitter that there were a lot of people that were very unfamiliar with, 1, Japanese baseball.
Yes. And 2,
what Yoshinobu Yamamoto has done to get himself ready to pitch. This guy lifts no weights.
No, I know. It's crazy. They talk about his javelin throw all the time. They brought his own people over when his own trainers. The Dodgers spent a ton of money around him, not just on him, to get him over here.
So he throws javelins to get his body loose, and that's kind of his off-day throwing. They look like these weighted foam javelins.
Yeah.
He lifts no weights. It's all mobility, flexibility, and core strength without weights. And you can Google this stuff. You can Google Yamamoto's between start routine. It's crazy. Also, in Japan, they throw upwards of 140, 150 pitches an outing. Yeah. That's just what they do.
Their baseball weighs a little bit less, doesn't it?
Yeah, but that's
marginally.
But here's the thing: like, you think weighing less is going to put less stress on the arm?
No,
I don't think it does, because how many quarterbacks do you see have elbow issues? Not many.
No,
because the ball is heavier, so it allows the arm to lay back cleaner.
Gotcha.
That's why a lot of guys will warm up throwing a football.
Heavy balls too.
Yes. So Yamamoto goes out there and has one of the greatest back-to-back night pitching performances in baseball history. He had a playoff run that was up there with anybody in the history of the game of baseball. The problem is I think we get prisoner of the moment with this stuff.
Yeah, I saw that argument too.
The Madison Bumgarner 2014 run was crazy.
Insane. Well, just what he did in the World Series alone was crazy. He was 2-0. He had the 5-inning save. 3-inning saves are awesome. I love when I get a 3-inning save across the street at Blue Bell Park. A 5-inning save on short rest in the decisive game of a World Series is insane. Now, what I also don't like to do, and you say we might get prisoner of the moment, I don't like comparing, great acts against each other, because both Yamamoto and Mad Bum are amazing in their own respects and should be weighted and appreciated differently, but same, but different. You know what I mean? Because they were both insanely awesome feats of baseball greatness. To see somebody start Game 6 and win it, and on no day's rest come and give you almost 3 innings of relief to win the World Series, brilliant. To have 2 days rest after winning Game 5, to come in for a 5-inning save to win the World Series is brilliant. I don't think we need to compare apples to oranges here, because I like both apples and oranges, although I like apples a little bit more because I'm not a Giants fan. Like Madison Bumgarner, his 2014 World Series is one of the greatest of all time. And I don't think you're going to see what either of these guys did happen all that often anymore, because the game has changed so much. You're not going to see dudes do what Koufax and Gibson did back in the 60s, where they'd come back after throwing a complete game to start Game 7 on 1 or 2 days rest. It's just not going to happen anymore. It's not where the game's at. To see what Yamamoto did, and of course he had to do it out of necessity because of where the Dodger bullpen was at and how you couldn't trust them, and the fact that you were going into extra innings. Like, it's just not going to happen again. To be in that situation's unlikely. So his greatness, absolutely, I don't think you're prisoner of the moment to say it's one of the greatest performances of all time. But I think it's also fair to do what you and so many others are doing and bringing back other people who have had amazing feats in Game 7.
I'm beginning to
Richard,
think.
Would you like me to play that video that you sent me?
Yeah, so here I found this on Dallas Braden's Twitter account, and I've played it so often around the house that I've gotten it stuck in Jen's head. It's a banger. It's his walk-up song at Dodger Stadium, Yamamoto's.
1, 2, 3! 山本由伸のモノマネしてるもしのぶ山本由伸のモノマネしてるもしのぶ
It's amazing. I love Japan.
I'm beginning to think that Team Japan is going to be a problem in the World Baseball Classic.
You think?
Did you see the list of players that they have now eligible to come to the big leagues? There's like 5 or 6 of them.
Can come now, can't he?
Yes.
That guy's a monster.
I haven't seen it at all.
Isn't he like, they're calling him like the Japanese like Babe Ruth or whatever?
Well, that's what they called
Shohei Ohtani?
Oh man,
they called Rintaro Sasaki that. Not what's the guy that's at Stanford?
I don't know his last name.
Rintaro.
Yeah, Rintaro. I just know him by his first name. Sasaki's the guy who's pitching for the Dodgers. Roki.
Rintaro Sasaki. I was right.
Yeah, Rintaro Sasaki. Good lord, 6'1", 270.
Too many Sasakis.
He's a big dude.
Monster.
How many
Sasaki
Sasakis
bombs.
have you had? Sasaki bombs?
Ugh. I don't do rice wine.
Do you think Rintaro hits Sasaki bombs?
I think like Sonny DeShera.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Sonny DeShera did not hit sake bombs, but he did hit Italian meatball bombs. All right, so Richard has said his piece on the Dodgers. Congratulations, back-to-back World Series.
Can I wrap that up?
Sure.
To the people who think the Dodgers are ruining baseball, you're so incorrect and wrong. To complain about their salary cap is so lame. Not once did any baseball fan who was actually watching Game 7 think to themselves, oh, I wonder what the payrolls of these two clubs are. And, oh, by the way, the Blue Jays were 5th in payroll this year. And in the last 25 years, the team with the highest payroll has won the World Championship 3 times. And, oh, by the way, the other 29 clubs are owned by billionaire individuals or billionaire ownership groups. So I don't know. Maybe they could offer competitive salaries for free agents in what is going to be one of the most insane free agency markets we've seen in a long time over the last 24 hours. So maybe just kind of quit it. They're definitely not ruining baseball. You know what is bad for baseball is owners who refuse to pay stars, or teams that are markets that are losing their teams because owners are cheapskates. We just had that happen in Oakland. There's other clubs in jeopardy of having it happen to them too. All of that sucks. I hope nobody has to lose their team. And then the one, of course, it was awesome for me to see Kershaw go out on top. And then there was one person who said anything negative to me in the aftermath of the Dodgers winning, and that person will remain nameless. The TexAgs poster. He's had the same criticism of me multiple times. Brauny and I have already discussed it. We discussed it immediately after the first time the criticism came up. I've watched baseball or sports instead of participating in the show once, maybe twice. And I immediately went hand up with you. Hasn't happened again. I've prepped as best as I can and will continue to do so for these shows. If you think I'm distracted, it's not because I'm watching the Dodgers or reading the Dodger version of TexAgs, whatever that might be, because I don't have time for that. Well, if I'm ever distracted, it's because I'm editing and prepping content for the rest of you to enjoy on TexAgs.com, because my job doesn't stop. So thank you for being a jerk after the Dodgers won a world championship. You did not impact me longer than the fraction of a second it took to delete your post because you were being rude, because the rest of the night I enjoyed a bottle of champagne, a couple too many beers. I went to sleep and I woke up in a great mood the next morning, and I have been very much less depressed over the last 72 hours. That is my piece. Back-to-back world champs. I've spent way too much money on merchandise, and I'm going to continue spending money on merch. Sorry, Mom. Sorry, credit card bill.
Kate, I sent you a tweet on Sunday morning that was for today.
About a drunk mascot?
Yeah, this was Richard after the Dodgers won the World Series. Look at this. So for those of you that are just listening, this is a mascot in bloody England. Okay.
Oi, Nigel.
Hold on. Restart that. This is Sammy the Saint, the mascot for the 7th tier St. Albans City. He was escorted off the field for appearing unsteady on his feet and apparently tipsy at an FA Cup game. This guy is blasted. I think that's shooting the finger at the camera. I can't really tell.
Yeah, he definitely is.
But he is living it up. That's Richard walking around his apartment in nothing but his blue and white Dodger anti-pants with Shohei Ohtani's face on.
Anti-pants.
And that's what I pictured Richard.
I only drink champagne on one occasion, man. That's it. And I don't buy the champagne. We just have a tradition in the apartment. The big Jen knows when they get to the precipice, if it's possible, she goes and she buys a bottle. I never touch it until the game's over. So that's the tradition in the Zane household, and it was a good Saturday night. Great
So
Saturday
we tip
night.
our hat to the Los Angeles Dodgers, and we move on from them until next baseball season.
Or we sign all of your favorite players during the free agent market.
Speaking of free agent market, what happened today?
The biggest news I saw was that Yu Darvish is going to be out for all of 2026.
No, he missed. Swing and a miss.
What happened?
It's NFL transfer or trade deadline.
The trade deadline.
Yeah. Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams. Jets cleaning house.
The Jets are on a fire sale, man, and Jerry Jones is flailing.
Do you think that, okay, so we got to talk about a couple elements of this. Quinnen Williams, New York Jets defensive tackle, out going to Dallas. Sauce Gardner, their best defender, cornerback, out going to Indy. And Indy looks like, but if you bet Indy after like week 1 or 2 to win the Super Bowl, that looks like a really good bet. They look like potentially the best team in the AFC right now. So Indianapolis strengthens very much so. The Jets are dumping their best players, and I don't know what that means for
that
for
was
Aaron
my
Glenn.
biggest question too. I'm very worried for him now. Unless he has the backing of ownership that they're stockpiling all these draft picks and he's going to have the opportunity to build this organization the way he wants, very similar to the way the Lions invested in Dan Campbell in Detroit.
I would lean toward it's that way because of his history with Dan Campbell in Detroit, and that's the way they did it. And also, now you've traded two of your best players away. You've got no quarterback. If you punt Aaron Glenn, who are you going to bring in? Who's going to want to walk into that situation?
No joke.
When I guess, to me, I would lean again. I don't know. This is just a guess. I'm not in those front office meetings. But I would guess this buys him some more time. But I don't know. I mean, they've been so hapless, man. And I'm pulling for AG. Obviously, everybody in College Station is. And I think a lot of people in the NFL are because they understand how good of a dude he is. But it's like, if your first managerial job in baseball is the Florida Marlins, like what kind of chance do you have to be successful?
Not much. Not much at all. Ugh.
But
I hope they're doing...
you could walk in... Vince Lombardi could crawl out of his grave and go coach the Jets. They're not going to win this year.
Would you rather be the head coach of the Jets or the Browns?
Or North Carolina?
Does the girlfriend come to... Is that part of the package of North Carolina?
You are married. You do not get a Jordan
Hudson.
I was going to say Jordan Weber.
Cade, that's a good question.
I think I'd take the Jets, frankly.
It's just
I think at
both
least
franchises
it's
are
New
so
York
downtrodden.
City.
Yeah, but if you bet on one of them to bounce back, it's New York City over Cleveland, right? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Eventually, they're going to get it right, and they're going to invest the money. And I just don't know that the Browns are ever going to. I mean, they paid Myles Garrett a king's ransom, and I'm wondering if Myles Garrett regrets taking all that money because he's going to. We talked about this last week. Like, he's wasting his career there.
Absolutely, and he had his opportunity to get traded, and seems like once the number he wanted was shown to him,
it was a great number. To be fair,
it was
a great number.
But the Browns they dump a bunch of money into 2 or 3 players, and the rest of their team stinks.
Yeah, can't do that.
They haven't gotten a quarterback right in 3 decades.
They ruined their only chance of becoming good after they gave up on Baker. Yeah, pretty much. And then
Baker's having an MVP type season right now for the Bucs.
You know what's funny is that Baker was like, he was downtrodden and out of it until the one game it was when he got traded to the Rams, and it was like his third day on the team, and I don't even remember who was the starting quarterback that game, but they got injured. He comes in for the last drive of the game. He leads them on a 90-yard touchdown drive and revives his career like in that moment. It was I mean, just insane comeback for him from what the Browns had just basically broken his spirit.
Well, the Jets, now that they've traded away Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams and also Breece Hall, I don't know if you saw his tweet.
I didn't see.
He had a tweet, and it was a GIF, and it was from Life, the movie Life. And what was the comedian's name that was in Life? Can you look that up real quick?
Is that Anthony Robinson?
Is it Anthony Robinson?
I could be so wrong.
Anyway, it's a GIF of him from Life, and he's like kind of looking behind the post, and
why can't I find this?
He may have deleted it because I saw Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee retweeted it. And that's why I saw
Anthony Anderson.
Anthony Anderson. Yeah.
Oh, dang, close.
And anyway, I thought that was very interesting that now their next best player is tweeting that he would like a piece of this action that Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams got in getting out of New York. But now that they're trading these pieces away, they're as far away from relevancy as the Browns are, and maybe even further. Like, the Browns have no quarterback. The Jets have no quarterback. In the NFL, like, start there. Do you have a quarterback that can win you games? Okay, if the answer is yes, do you have an offensive line that can protect him? Because that's where it starts and ends, right? And I don't know that the Browns or the Jets have either. Like in Houston, I think we have the quarterback. They ain't even close to having the offensive line to protect that guy. Now he's out for a couple of weeks. By the way, some people text me that Sean Payton's like a headhunter.
Huh? Well, I mean,
like Bounty Gate stuff.
Well, he used to be, yeah.
Like, and how does that hit on CJ Stroud not draw a flag?
Because it was, I don't know if you saw the other angle, but that was a perfectly clean hit.
He's sliding.
he hit him in the side. It wasn't crown of the helmet. It was a perfectly normal hit.
So
he had just started his slide.
No, you can't hit the quarterback, Cade. He's already giving himself up.
By the way,
it doesn't matter if it's helmet to helmet or crown of the helmet stuff. He's giving himself up.
Stop sliding feet first. Did you not watch literally last year with Trevor Lawrence against the Texans? Azeez Al-Shire almost took his head off of his shoulders. And when you slide feet first, you expose the most, I guess, dangerous parts of your body. Like you're exposing your neck and your head when you slide feet first. So if they shouldn't be hitting you, but if they do, they're going to spike your neck or your head against the ground, or they're going to go face to face with your on helmet to helmet.
I was worried when he was slow to get up that it was, and after seeing the replay and seeing that it wasn't helmet to helmet, I was worried that it was going to be like a shoulder issue for Stroud.
But again, they can't protect him, man. And it's so frustrating because the Texans are good enough in a lot of areas to win football games, but they are so bad on the offensive line.
It's terrible.
And you got a first-year play caller, and now you got a backup quarterback who.
It also feels like they haven't had like a single game this season where their wide receiver room has been completely healthy. That's true. Is that fair?
I mean, Christian Kirk just came back.
Yeah.
Do you at least take solace in the fact that when your owner's on or has a mic in front of his mouth on national television, he's more excited about the football instead of announcing a NHL Stadium Series game 2 years from now? Do you take
Did Jerry
solace
Jones
in
do that?
Yes. Yesterday on Sunday night, Monday Night Countdown, he's sitting at the desk with Gary Bettman, the NHL commissioner, and Scott Van Pelt talking about playing hockey at AT&T Stadium. What are we doing?
I just saw the post-game quotes after their loss to the Cardinals where he's going, well, I got a trade going. I got a trade ready. But yeah,
he did say that like pregame too.
Yes.
He's like, we'll wait till tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's like, who cares?
Oh, you know what the trade was? He traded for linebacker Logan Wilson, who had just been demoted from a starter on the Cincinnati Bengals defense, a defense that's worse than the Dallas Cowboys. That is what he was hinting at. I hope it wasn't, Jerry. I hope that you meant Quinnen Williams and Logan Wilson was just some kind of secondary or tertiary trade you were working on that got announced first. But the timeline matched up to where you got on camera and you got in front of that microphone and you had to tell everybody that I'm going to make these moves. And, you know, I've had it done before where I get the rug pulled out from underneath me and it ain't going to happen this time. And then 8 hours later, Logan Wilson is announced as the first trade on trade deadline day.
So stupid.
By the way,
it's just another example of, and everybody knows this, I'm not breaking any news or shattering any glass for anybody out there. The Cowboys and their ownerships, they don't care about winning. They are not serious about winning. They are the most unserious professional sports franchise in North America, and it's not even close. All they care about is ratings. All they care about is clips in the tabloids. And above all they care about is the bottom line and lining their own pockets. And for the Cowboy fans out there, I feel sorry for you because you're not going to see your team win.
I don't.
I know you don't. I don't have a disdain towards the Cowboys other than the fact that they're always first page of the Dallas Morning News Sports Day section, regardless of what the Rangers, Mavs, and Stars are doing. But I also understand that that's the three-ring circus that Jerry Jones has been selling for almost 40 years now. It's not going to get better until Jerry is out of the picture, and hopefully, for the sake of Cowboys fans and North Texas sports, if they're ever going to win a Super Bowl again, is that Steven has enough wherewithal and knowledge to get out of the way and hire actual football people, because the Jones family ain't it.
Sounds like you're impassioned and you want the Cowboys to win.
I just think it's like you can't keep doing this, man.
You can. They are.
It's hilarious, but you can't keep doing this. I think it's bad for the league. I think it's bad for the NFL.
It's good for my psyche on Sundays because the Texans have been so disappointed. At least I have some solace that I can hate watch the Cowboys. And by the way, that was an embarrassing loss last night.
I didn't even watch any of it.
They lost by
at Bucky
10.
Ball.
They lost by, or was it 2 nights ago? Excuse me.
No, it was last night.
It was last night.
That's right. They lost by 10 to an Arizona Cardinals team who's no good with their backup, Jacoby Brissett, who should be their starter, even when Kyler Murray comes back. You want to talk about a guy that's kicked his feet up and just coasted. Since Kyler got that new contract, I guess they came out with a new, some new Xbox
New martyr.
First-person shooters?
New Call of
Just
Duty
wants to
game.
New
play
Call of
Duty.
Duty, new Battlefield Recon or whatever.
Hey, Kyler Murray. Hey, he can't lose an AT&T even when he doesn't start.
I liked zombies back in the day. Like the first zombies was fun.
But this guy, I mean,
Was that Black Ops? Or was that on Cade? I don't remember the game.
I think Zombies was on Black Ops, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah, I didn't even have those kinds of games. So my mom was.
I did not either.
She was too worried about my little childhood brain, and didn't want
Kyler
me.
Murray's more worried about his FaZe clan than he is a game plan.
Fair, I get it.
Oh, nice.
It's important
Bars.
stuff.
And I don't think he should come back and be the starter. The only reason why he would be is because the Cardinals have paid him all that money. But Jacoby Brissett, they actually look like a competent NFL offense last night. But to me, it's an embarrassing loss for the Cowboys. And Dak was awful in the first half. And Dak, I don't think he should be awful with the weapons they've got. George Pickens is like borderline MVP level right now playing at receiver.
Yeah.
He's so
He
good.
is. Very good.
I was pleased. Oh, I'm sorry, Brauny. It came at your expense, but I'm pleased with how the Broncos have been performing recently. And
That game was hard to watch.
And their fourth, they are incredibly hard to watch. But they turn it on in the fourth quarter and the second half, and they find ways to win.
Bo Nix, I like Bo Nix, man. Competitor, winner.
I do sometimes. I have mixed feelings about Bo Nix.
J.K. Dobbins, they run the football pretty good.
Yeah,
They
RJ
really
Harvey looked good as a receiving guy out of the backfield. On Sunday. So
Their front seven's outstanding. They get after the quarterback.
absolutely.
But that game was icky. It was, as the kids say, it was buns. It was 5 field goals for the Texans.
Are we
and then
saying cheeks?
cheeks,
Do we say
buns.
cheeks?
But I don't know. Like
What about stinky?
it was actually we can't say stinky. Billy got
that's
on.
right. Yeah,
Billy doesn't
we're out
like
on
stinky. It was actually a really entertaining day of NFL football. I don't typically dive into all the games, but with Red Zone on, and I was working, and we're doing baby stuff.
Should've come over to your house.
No,
Would've gotten to
we
watch
drove
more
to
of the
Katy to
Lions
go
than I
baby
did.
shopping, and then drove back, and so I was kind of catching bits and pieces of it. But it was a very intriguing day of football. A lot of close games, and we got to talk about these kickers, man. And Cam Little set the NFL record. He hit from 68 after hitting from 70 in the preseason. Don't forget, he hit
crazy.
from 70 in the preseason. But Cam Little hits from 68, and it would have been good from 70.
It would have been good from 70. Yeah.
And then Brandon Aubrey, who is probably the best, most consistent kicker in the league. Now he goes out there and misses 68 in that game against the Cardinals, but it wasn't short. It was just wide. These kickers are getting, I don't know what you do. Do you make the goalpost skinnier? Also,
No. They miss too much from inside 40 to make the goalpost skinnier.
but do we need to make the goalpost taller?
Yes. I think it doesn't make sense to me. That rule is so bad.
Did you see it in the SMU Miami game?
We have the technology to digitally extend the goalposts, right? Like some VAR system, we can put that in, especially in all these NFL stadiums because most of them are domes.
Yeah, and you don't get what I would say there though is if it's digitally done, there is wind in these open air stadiums, and the goalposts do move slightly in the wind.
Fair.
Okay, so if you have a digitized pole extending above the goalpost, there could be some sway back and forth, and you don't know unless you have actual goalpost, an actual something tangible there. You don't know how the ball is going to react to hitting it. So, like for instance, the SMU Miami game. Did you see they called that field goal by SMU? They called it wide left. Now, the replays I saw looked like it was, if it would have hit the upright, like an extended upright, it would have deflected off the inside of it and probably through. But because it went over the goalpost and you can't determine what it would have done,
Yeah.
the whole ball has to be inside the goalpost if it goes above the height of the goalpost. And so they had to call it no good. But from the naked eye and from the replay, it looked like it was between the posts. And then when they showed from I guess it was like kind of an underneath angle, you're like, man, if that would have hit the goalpost, it would have ricocheted in. So why can't we just make the goalpost taller?
That would be that's an interesting thought. I don't know. I think it's interesting to think about that because in the other, you said that it has to be all the way inside.
Yes,
Kind of
if it
like
goes-
how the ball has to be all the way over the line for it to be a goal in soccer.
Yes.
I think that I think that tracks, but also because it can hit the post and still go through, I guess what you're saying also makes sense to where if it's mostly on the inside, it would definitely ricochet through. Whereas if it were gonna hit the post,
you could definitely
halfway, then it would definitely doink out.
You can definitely probably put a sensor above the goalpost, and even if it's like one of those infrared lasers, and if it makes contact with the ball, then it's no good because the whole ball, if it goes all the way through, then it would never interact with those lasers.
It's just a VAR system at that point.
My only deal is just because a ball hits an upright doesn't mean that it's going to be no good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because it can hit and bounce in.
But maybe it's a balance thing. Maybe if you have the single, if the goalpost is structured into the ground with one post, maybe there's a certain height that those goalposts can't get above, or it throws off the balance of the whole system. And there are some stadiums in college football that have the double pad in the end zone, so there's 2 bars that go into the ground.
Yeah.
Like the old school ones that were at the front of the end zone. Remember those?
Yes.
But you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like there's 2 of them in the ground.
LSU, Florida State, there's a couple others.
Yeah, LSU does have those.
Like the rugby type ones.
No, you just look up LSU's goalpost. You'll see what I'm saying. Like there's two poles that go into the ground.
Yeah, that's what they.
And I wonder if that structure can allow the goalpost to be taller because it's sturdier at the bottom.
Potentially true.
It's 3 schools with the old H-style goalposts. It's LSU, Florida State, and Washington State.
Wazoo.
Well, I don't know. Can you Google to see if that helps? Do they have taller goalposts?
I don't know.
Anyway, we got to do something about these kickers. In the NFL, they're getting too good. In college football, they are a coin flip seemingly every time they go out there.
I think to the too good part, like the game's evolved in all phases, right? Now, the offenses now are insanely wild compared to anything you would have seen 30 years ago. But I kind of want to say that kicking has improved, progressed just as much, if not more, relative to the impact and the time seen on the field in the game. Because how long ago were you seeing these kicking camps for these prospects and stuff like that?
It's probably been a decade and a half.
But before, so you're now starting to see the fruits of that labor in the NFL, right? Because before then, each high school, each college would just go find a kid from the soccer team that could kick far and kick high.
By the way, in the chat, yes, Cam Little, same guy that authored the Oink Doink.
The Oink Doink, that was one of my prouder moments as a headline writer.
Oh, also
on that column from Olin.
TB40 in the premium chat said Brissett has been named the starter over Kyler.
Woo, bum.
If Kyler's got any competitive bone in his body, that should be the wake-up call he needed.
Kyler's got any competitive bone in his body, he might join some esports tournaments.
Well, he does. At one point, he had a competitive bone in his body because he won state championships at Allen. He was in the college football playoff at Oklahoma and won a Heisman Trophy. But I do think when he got that big contract, it was like, all right, I made it. I think he's a different guy now. He can prove that we're wrong, but that's the analysis that I have of him right now.
Arizona is kind of like the purgatory of the NFL anyway. So,
you do forget about people. To me, it's like the Washington Huskies of college football. Like people go to Washington and forget they're even up there.
Who's the quarterback from Georgia? Jacob Eason.
Yeah, went
up there and you completely forgot he existed.
Fell off the face of the earth. All right, so we got to turn our attentions. Let's talk about Bucky Ball last night. You mentioned we went.
Yeah.
Very different. Very, very different than what was here last year. If you need the complete breakdown, just follow Luke Evangelist on Twitter. He tweeted 78 times. He posted some videos. I think he did a breakdown of the caloric intake of each player on the team in their post-game meal and how that's going to help them bounce back for the game on Thursday. Luke's got you covered in every which direction. But I can say, as a non-basketball guy, it was like watching deer on ice. It was fast, athletic, and mostly frantic. It was the exact opposite of what we saw last year with Buzz Williams, where it was one guy dribbling at the top of the key until about 8 seconds left in the shot clock, and then it was
running some ball screen action and trying to get fouled.
Get to the rack, get fouled. They scored as many points in one half last night as Buzz's teams were scoring in a game. And I'm not saying that either way is right or wrong. I'm just saying we are contrasting the different styles. It is the complete inverse of what you've seen with Aggie basketball. It's fast. It's up-tempo. They press like madmen, and it's going to lead to a lot of run-out buckets. How many times did we look up last night? You're like, man, it's 3-on-1.
Northwestern State's got a guy running, and it's just like an over-the-top baseball throw from an inbound.
Or they break the press in the front court.
Yeah,
and they cross the halfway line, and it's 3-on-1. And good teams are going to take advantage of that. And Bucky, he's not running from that. He's not shying away from it. He's like, we're going to give up points.
Yeah, he said in his – so I filmed the game, and I was at the post-game presser. He said in the post-game presser when asked about, like, those long passes off the inbound, like, he said, we're going to live with those. We're going to – like, because our press, when it's working, it's working. And you could see that last night. Like, the press was pretty impressive, I thought. I was telling Richard earlier, it's that he's gonna have him like Miracle on Ice, like, you know, the legs feed the wolves. You know, they are running.
It's like Nolan Richardson in the '90s with Arkansas, like 40 minutes of hell.
It's gonna have to be, and
they're not super athletic. They do have good shooters. I mean, you can tell they're very much improved shooters.
Ruben Dominguez is legit.
Ruben Dominguez is the best looking shooter A&M's had in a long time.
Legit.
He makes Chris 5 3-pointers in his college debut. He's very good.
It's like a
Elston
clean
Turner.
stroke too. Like it's Elston Turner.
I thought every
DJ
single
Hogue,
I thought every single
DJ
shot he was going to take was going to go in.
It's just a clean looking shot, and he gets it up off of different platforms. He's a guy, like, you catch him on the wrong night, he's going for 30.
Agreed.
And none of them are going to be threes.
So that's what excites me, is that he could go off at any moment. Pop Isaac's playing his first game in 11 months. He's going to continue to get better as he gets into game shape. He gets used to the system. Obviously, they're going to get Mackenzie Mbako back at some point, maybe middle of this month, perhaps a little bit later than that. Follow Luke Evangelos on Twitter if you want updates on Mackenzie Mbako and what he ate for breakfast this morning, and also where he's going to dinner later tonight. So this team's got a lot of room to get better, and I think that's what excites me. They've got the talent. They've got the capabilities to be in every single game, because any single guy, whether it's Dominguez, Mbako, Isaacs, Marcus Hill, Jakari Lane, you name it, go up and down the list. Like, they've got dudes that can take over a game, very similar to what A&M ran into last year against Caleb Grill in Missouri, right?
Absolutely.
They've got opportunities to be in games with every single person, every single team they face. What concerns me is what happens when they break the press, or a bigger, physical, faster team breaks the press and is able to break the press consistently.
I'm just not concerned. I'm not concerned about it, because we know this team's going to lose games.
Yeah.
And Bucky was behind the 8 ball when he got here, and he scrapped together a roster that looks like it's going to be competitive, and they look like they're going to piss people off.
Oh, absolutely. They're going to be competitive and be in
yeah.
every game they play, I think. I find it very hard to believe that team's going to get blown out at all at any point of the regular season.
They play too fast on offense, and they score, and they get too many shots up to not, be able to at least score with everybody they play.
And
it's a lot like if anybody watching, I know you guys didn't watch much NBA last year. It reminds me a lot of like what the Pacers were last year, where anybody could like go off on any given night. They played super fast. The ball was popping around all the time. The only real difference is that they really don't full court press like that in the NBA, but it's a very similar style to like it's NBA basketball. Like, that's what he came in here preaching, is like, I want to get these guys ready for the next level, and that's what that style is.
Well, they did not. I can't remember them shooting a mid-range jumper.
Luke says they only took one.
Yeah.
All
Zach
98
Clemens.
points that they scored came from points in the paint, 3-pointers, or free throws. Not a single made mid-range jumpy.
Yeah, and like every time Northwestern State would run down the floor and shoot a mid-range jumper, I'm screaming no value.
Yeah, you were.
That's what Bucky's taught me. There's no value in that shot.
No
and
value.
like what you were saying earlier, Cade, to me, like the press, it's everything he's doing is a plus-minus deal.
Yeah.
Like, there's going to be some negatives to the way they press, and they're going to get popped, and they may get a game where they get popped a bunch. But over the course of the season, over the sample size, it's going to be way more pluses, or he wouldn't be doing that. Like, Bucky, to me, he's not a stubborn guy. Like, he's run the numbers on all this stuff.
He's very analytics driven, 100%.
And what's going to be interesting, though, is like Bucky's never had, I think he'll get there, but he's never had like elite talent in his system. So does he have to curtail the system a little bit if he gets 5 guys on the floor like McKenzie and Baco? You know what I'm saying?
Like 5 guys on the floor like McKenzie and Baco, we're winning it all.
But you get what I'm saying. Like his talent ceiling's never been as high as it's going to be at A&M.
True.
So I think he's going to have to, like, he's going to recruit guys that can play his style, no question. But it's just something at the onset of his career here that you're looking at and going, okay, like, this is fun. This is definitely for your just the naked eye. If you've watched Aggie basketball the last 6 years and you turn that game on the other day, you're going, holy crap, this is fun. This is different. But as he matures in his coaching approach and in his plan and in his system here at A&M, does the caliber of athlete change? You know, maybe it's not as aggressive like you said. Maybe it's aggressive on the offensive end and they just get back and play in the half court on defense.
Yeah. I will one more thing. I will also say it was very apparent that Josh Holloway has played in that system before. He was the transfer who came with Bucky from Samford. He looked really good last night. He was up and down the floor, probably just a little bit quicker than most people. He was great in the full court press. He's probably the best ball handler from what I saw on the team, and he looked really good getting to the basket as well.
Federico was a lot of fun to watch.
I liked Rashawn Agee.
Agee was good too.
Bodying dudes in the paint.
It's, you know, A&M basketball hasn't had a guy that looked like Federico in a while. Like he's a giant and he's like gangly and wide shouldered.
He looks like Slender Man.
He's huge. Yeah.
He is very athletic. And he is the complete outlier on the entire roster.
It's crazy.
Get out and go support Bucky Ball. Go to Reed Arena Thursday night. I'm sure there'll be tickets available against Texas Southern.
Yeah,
it's fun, man. It's different. It's fun. It's hectic. I think it would be a style if you've got young kids that are just kind of getting into sports. I think they'd be very interested and keep it like that would keep their attention longer than
very much so. Like I am not going to ever claim to be anything more than a basketball casual. I'm very open about that. Cade Bickham, you can attest to that. I don't know the game. Obviously, they don't let 5'8" Jewish boys play high level basketball anywhere. So, not my sport. It wasn't my sport, but I was entertained. Will be going back. I just wish the beers were cheaper. I only had one.
Richard showed up. The first thing he went, "You want anything in the concession?" I'm like, "No, I'm good." He goes and he comes back with an ice cold Coors Light
and a pretzel.
I was like, "Oh, you're cool. You drink." On the college football landscape, Hugh Freeze fired at the University of Auburn or at Auburn University.
You're cool. You drink.
Also, we don't have to really get into that. Everybody saw that coming a million miles away.
12 openings, and it's still the first week of November.
But hey, we're about to get in our top 5 winners and losers of the college football weekend, and also top 5 drive-thrus. And you can get as creative with that as you want. And I think there's a lot more that goes into that than just the food that you're served.
Well, dang, I did not get that creative with it.
I'm not saying my list is super creative, but like how you want to judge the quality of a drive-thru, there's a lot of factors, right? For instance, I love Popeyes, but if I'm driving through Popeyes, I can't be driving through Popeyes and then continuing to travel somewhere. Because you can't eat the fried chicken while you're driving. You get what I'm saying?
Point. Yeah, that's fair.
Home.
So, like, I'm going to have to go home. If I'm going to drive through Popeyes, I'm going to have to either sit in my car and eat it or go home and eat it. So we'll get to that, our top 5 drive-thrus after our top 5 college football winners and losers. But I can little preview here. I didn't put Auburn in my top 5 biggest losers.
I didn't either. I didn't even think about them as a biggest loser because it didn't even.
They've been losers the entire year.
Exactly.
And they've been losers throughout the Hugh Freeze era, 6-16 in the SEC.
Auburn's in mine because I've been consistent. If you're getting fired before the season ends, you're a loser. You're going in my list.
And they're going to pay Hugh Freeze $15 million. You know, the question's like, why every podcaster, college football podcaster, talking head, is going, why didn't it work? Well, to me, it's pretty easy. You didn't get your quarterback right ever.
Yep, and that's a big-time issue if you're a head coaching or if you're an offensive-minded head coach and you can't hand-pick a quarterback out of the portal time and time again, that's a problem.
Not just out of the portal. He didn't recruit and develop one either.
Bum.
Are we also willing to just finally admit that, like, his style of offense is washed, and
He's washed,
and it just doesn't work anymore.
I mean, you had so many players, man, and I just think it's the trigger, man. Like, I'm not ready to say that his style of offense is washed because he was cutting people up at Liberty. But when he got to Auburn and he went with Peyton Thorne 2 years in a row, and then he had to go to the portal because he didn't recruit a high school quarterback and develop them. So he had to go back to the portal to find
Jackson Arnold
signal caller, and he picked Jackson Arnold. And they paid Jackson Arnold a lot of money.
Yep.
And he's not the only transfer quarterback out there. And obviously everybody will point to Fernando Mendoza. And I don't know what Kurt Cignetti in Indiana offered him, but what a really smart decision by them because, I mean, college football playoff rankings are coming out in a little bit. And if Indiana's won, I'm not going to be surprised.
Nope.
They are smushing everybody. But
Smush is a good word.
It's not just Fernando Mendoza. Like, there were other transfer quarterbacks available that he just chose not to pursue.
Darian Mensah,
the kid that's at Duke. Kids that's at Tulane, Retzlaff.
God, my guy, the BY Jew.
Like, you could have gone and gotten him late. Now I know that they already had Jackson Arnold. Connor Wigman.
Yeah.
Would be a better option than Jackson Arnold. So that's where I didn't work. I mean, I think he was obtuse to a lot of things. But Auburn backed him. Auburn gave him the support. You know, they had the founder of Yellowwood is an Auburn grad and a big Auburn athletics supporter.
His logo's on their football field.
And so they had the financial backing. It's just, I mean, this is 3 coaches in a row that they've run out of town pretty quick.
Credit to them for ripping off the Band-Aid, though.
But they're paying so much money in buyouts.
I mean, if you lose 10-3 to Kentucky, they were
What
at
a
home
disgusting
too,
game.
right? Like,
Losing 10-3 to Kentucky's not even the worst thing. Losing 10-3 to Kentucky and then sitting in your post-game press conference and saying that you're close is gotta be one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in all of sports. Close to what, Hugh?
The more that
more
that Auburn ran out there and kept playing, the more I was going, man, that A&M scoreline makes me even like, we all know that if you watch that game, the score should have been 27-3, 27-6. If A&M just takes care of themselves and takes care of the football, they dominated that game. But still, like a lot of national analysts, and I listened to a couple on the way driving to the show today. I was listening to 2 guys that I really respect, and they're talking about, A&M only put up 16 on Auburn. And I was like, well, you guys didn't watch the game. You're just going through the schedule and looking at point totals. It's just like when they say they gave up 40 at Notre Dame. Well, no, they didn't. They gave up 33. Or they say, now I was arguing with somebody on the message board this week, well, the A&M defense gave up 25 in Baton Rouge. Well, really, they didn't. First of all, even if you want to credit LSU with scoring with less than a minute to go with the backups in, which, by the way, UTSA did that. Utah State did that, both to A&M. So when you look at these A&M score lines and you're going to how many points they've given up all year on average, to me, you take away a touchdown from UTSA, you take away a touchdown from Utah State, and you take away a touchdown from LSU. To me, okay? But even if you want to give them that touchdown, they didn't score 25. They scored 23 because they had the block field goal to safety. LSU, I think, had 240 yards of total offense against A&M. It's like their lowest output of the year. I think that's correct.
I'll go fact check that.
Look, we don't have to go do that. What I'm saying is A&M, you can't, it's not just A&M, it's any resume you want to go look at. And I think what we've done at TexAgs such a good job of, and it's really Olin does a great job of this. Like for Missouri this week, you're like, oh, Missouri scored this many against this team, or they given up this against this team, and Olin will go, well, in that game, this happened. And so the final touchdown makes it look like this.
Olin watches a lot of football.
And he goes back and studies it,
He's
too.
obviously not a YouTube TV subscriber.
What was your solution there? I went sling.
My solution is
I've sling.
And I was telling Andrew Monaco, Arbo and Lofton, and John Heidke about this earlier when they wrapped up their filming of Follow the Money, which you can find on TexAgs.com right now. I'm one of the few under 30s that still have cable.
Wow.
I still have an Optimum TV subscription. We do have linear cable in the apartment. The reason I got it a long time ago was because, you do the game, the live threads and stuff. I wanted to be more current than the streaming when we provide updates of road games, and I just never cut the cable. And looking to be an important thing so far. So I still have my parents are YouTube TV subscribers, so I have their login, get to watch all of that
It's
stuff.
going to be interesting. Who's going to break? It's going to be Disney,
not gonna be,
or is it going to be YouTube TV?
Disney.
But it's nobody's going to break. This is the problem. Nobody wins when trillionaire organizations fight.
Well, here's the thing. So Sling, I think, Hulu is another descendant of Disney, right? Like Hulu is a part of this whole thing too. So is Fubo. So I went to Sling because they were out of that umbrella.
Brauny, which Sling did you get?
Blue and orange.
Okay,
I got the bundle.
I think I need to upgrade to that one because I'm missing out on stuff with just the.
It is a little
blue.
Mickey Mouse though, dude. Like
it is. No, it definitely is, but
it's not Mickey Mouse.
Pretty
well,
cheap.
you get what I'm saying? Like it's not Mickey Mouse, but the functionality of Sling, and like you can't quad box. It's clunky. Right, like it's just not as smooth. YouTube TV is crisp, dude. It's smooth. You can multi-view. You can pick your multi-view. YouTube TV is great with all that. Sling is not there, but I got access to all the games, so I got to watch. And it's just a pain to flip from back and forth to one another.
And they have Red Zone.
Yeah, they have Red Zone too, but YouTube TV still has Red Zone because it's not a ESPN.
Oh, true.
I can't quad box on Optimum TV, but I can two screen. I can watch two things at once.
You have that. You don't even have that option on Sling. So what I'm thinking is Sling is going to be one of the benefactors of all this fallout from Disney and YouTube TV and ESPN. I'm hoping that Sling is going to have some kind of announced upgrade soon because their volume has gone through the roof in the last week. So I'm hoping because of that, they're going to go, hey, like we have a chance we've gotten a lot of new customers, right, Cade? Like they've gotten so many new customers this week. How do we hold on to them? Let's give them a better product. Let's put more money in our software and our development so that we can provide them an experience so that whenever this deal gets worked out with Disney and YouTube TV, everybody doesn't immediately switch back.
They're going to stay with us because we're cheaper and we're still providing the same sort of like fancy quad boxes or whatever, what have you.
Just the whole functionality of it.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, let's do some winners and losers.
Hey, Sandman, you say that YouTube TV and Disney better lock in before this Sunday, but it ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. This is not going to be like normal coverage disputes. This is going to last a long, long time. This is not your normal carriage dispute. This is Google fighting Disney, two of the largest companies on the planet. Neither one has any real incentive to give in either.
Well, and then ESPN had all their personalities shilling out. That was
ESPN
very unbecoming.
Terrible.
Very unbecoming this weekend of a lot of people on Twitter. So I was glad to see some college football analysts didn't bend the knee. And, anyway, we don't have to go down that road. All right, let's do some winners and losers from the college football weekend. We do have ours in order, but if we talk about a team, we will continue that conversation about them no matter where each one of us has them represented in our top five, if they're in there at all. At number 5 for me, the Utah Utes are back into the thick of things in the Big 12 after a blowout win of Cincinnati. I was on the complete wrong side of that. I had a very good, if you followed my picks last week, I had a very good week. But man, I whiffed bad on Cincinnati at Utah. They thumped them.
Bludgeoning.
Yeah, I whiffed worse than you, Brauny. I had Cincy winning outright, so yeah,
Hand up.
Real bad. But I had Utah at 4.
I have Utah too, man. To do that the week before the college football playoff rankings with College Game Day in town, now I know they've already got a couple of losses, but if Utah could find a way to win out, they've impressed a number of people. They could find themselves back on the bubble for the college football playoff. Now, I don't think the Big 12 is a great league, but with the ACC crumbling this week, it seems like, the Big 12's got an avenue to get a couple teams, maybe 3 into the field of 12.
Number 4 for me, go ahead, 5 for you, Cade.
5 for me, I had Mississippi State because they finally won an SEC game. Good for Mississippi State.
Nice.
Good for them. Good for you.
Yeah. Who was your 5?
5 for me is North Texas. They ended Navy's undefeated start. They're still one-loss team in the American. They are not receiving votes, or they're not in the AP top 25. Not that matters after 7 o'clock tonight, but there are 3 remaining opponents.
That was one of my other losses, by the way.
They have an average of the North Texas 3 remaining opponents have average losses of 4.67. Like they have a legit path to 11-1. North Texas.
I don't know if that's going to be enough, but it keeps them in the discussion for sure.
In what killed me? The American Conference title, though.
I don't think I picked a side there. I picked the over, and that over would have hit if Navy could get inside the 20 and then they couldn't do anything. It was like they fell off the 19-yard line was the end of the planet, and they didn't want to go any further. It was crazy. All right. For number 4 for me was SMU. The biggest upset on the week. Now, I don't know that it's going to change their season, but it's also a good week for SMU because they announced Brett Lashley's extension. Had a lot of folks sniffing around about him potentially taking head coaching jobs, so I'll give SMU my number 4 big winner.
4 on my list, just because there weren't too many games that really had my eyeballs this weekend. Memphis, winning on Friday night. They beat Rice. Really not that important of a game because the Tigers are way better than the Owls. I think everybody knew that coming into this one. But it's just important for them to keep winning, keep pace, they're still the leaders. They have pole position for that group of 5 position. It'll be very interesting to see how much the committee values the Tigers later tonight. Now, they do have Tulane and Navy, so they'll have an opportunity to prove they truly do belong and deserve that group of 5 spot if they could get to 11-1 in the regular season. But for me, number 4 on my list this week, the Memphis Tigers.
Okay.
My number 4 was Utah. We already talked about that.
Okay, number 3 for me, the NC State Wolfpack. That was everybody in the country's talking about us winning and upsetting Georgia Tech, and we went in there and did it. And they did it in blowout fashion. They got a quarter. Here's the problem with NC State. Now that Kevin Concepcion has left and is tearing up the SEC, their starting running back was leading the ACC in rushing. He didn't even play. Hollywood Smothers didn't even play. They got a quarterback, though, named C.J. Bailey that can go. Big time go.
That guy's good.
And can they keep him in Raleigh? We'll see. But big time spot, knocks Georgia Tech from the ranks of the unbeaten and through.
Hey, that's Georgia Tech and Virginia that they've beaten. So now, Brauny, your former take of NC State being a bad loss is no longer a.
They've got 4 losses.
Well, I mean they do, but they have 2 really good wins.
So it just tells me that probably they got a good talent ceiling. They may be young. I don't know anything about their team really, but quarterback can play, and the ACC now is completely thrown into the blender, like looking more and more like a 1-bid league after last weekend.
Yeah, I like how you legal named KC. Called him Kevin.
Yeah.
I liked that. 3 on my list, and I hate to do it. Shout out to Sandman, Texas Longhorns. Big win, knocking off number 9 Vanderbilt.
Number 2 on my list.
Number 3 on my list.
Number 3 on my list.
Could be a turning point for Sark and company. We'll see. Obviously, they've got the bye this week before they go to Athens, but they've got some confidence, and it's a team that if they could find a way to win at Sanford Stadium next Saturday night, could be dangerous down the stretch.
They kept hope alive in Lexington and in Starkville. And then they roared out to a huge lead against Vandy and nearly let it slip, but they won. Again, they've just done enough to keep the hope alive in their season, so they're dangerous because they're talented. I had Texas number 2. You had them number 3.
I had
to that
number
point,
3,
right? I think right now in this era of college football, it's not how, it's how many. And they've won the last cup. They won the last 2 weeks. None of them were beauty pageants, but they keep doing it. They keep winning. They are still kicking. It's a team that could be very dangerous.
Arch Manning's finding it a little bit too.
Well, he threw a lot of passes to the sideline, and then they got where they. It's a great game plan by Steve Sarkisian because they had way better athletes on the perimeter, and he highlighted it the entire game.
Yeah, I mean he did his job.
Yep.
All right, so I had Texas at 2. Who'd you have at 2?
I had Utah at 2.
Okay, Kate, who'd you have at 2?
I put Ole Miss at 2 because they just keep taking care of business, and I'm pretty impressed by what Lane Kiffin's done this year.
Yeah, so is LSU.
Yeah, true.
And Florida.
But frankly, if I'm him, I'm staying.
Well, we can talk about that.
But
we got plenty of days.
You are him, though.
Oh, thanks, dude.
You are not him.
You are not him. You're him.
All right, let's go number 1 for me, Oklahoma.
Okay.
On the road at Tennessee, again, keeping their season alive. And not many people gave the Sooners much of a chance. I didn't. They ran the football. They had a 100-yard rusher for the first time, I believe, all year. A back went over 100 yards in a game for them. John Mateer he's in and out, but their defense, man, I was quick to kind of to poo-poo on their front 7 because I just didn't think they'd played anybody that could stress them, and they did the other night, and they were really good in the second half.
My number 1's Georgia, and I know their opponent's not good. They're playing with an interim head coach at Florida already, but to me, in the games of highly ranked teams against unbeatens, they had the most to lose this week. Right? If they lose to Florida, they're already at 2 losses. They still got Georgia Tech on the schedule. They still got Texas on the schedule. One more loss ends their playoff hopes. They kept themselves alive. They found a way to win. It wasn't pretty. They had the most to lose. So that's why I think they're a big winner by squeaking out a victory in the world's largest outdoor cocktail party.
They got a bunch of holes, but they just keep winning. It's Kirby, man.
Yep, Kirby Smart's a great head coach.
All right, Cade.
I had Virginia at number 1 because of the other things that happened in the ACC. They've basically put themselves in the driver's seat to go to win that conference now.
Yeah, they're going to probably go to Charlotte for sure.
At least make the conference championship game. Yeah, so I have them. They went over to they went to Berkeley and they really just took care of business. So
yeah, that was close for a while. Cal's a team that we gave way too much credit to early in the year, and good segue into my number 5 on my biggest losers. But yeah, I like Virginia, man. Like, I don't think anybody knows too much about them, but they do keep winning. And the ACC is anybody's league right now. And the Cavaliers have a great shot, like you said, to get to
North Texas's Chandler Morris at the helm.
Yeah, they get a great shot to get to Charlotte for the ACC title game. All right, here's my number 5 biggest loser. Again, a team that I gave way too much credit to early in the year, and maybe I believed in them. And by the way, I've been really shocked about how their media has covered this loss. It's like they're applauding a good effort. Nebraska. Matt Rule loses again at home. They still haven't beaten a ranked team in a decade. And the way their media up there has covered this is like, hey, good job, good effort kind of thing. I can't believe that. Like, when does the levee break on this guy?
Yeah, when do the pitchforks come out for Matt Rule?
Maybe they're never going to, and maybe that's why he doesn't want to go to Happy Valley. He's like, man, this is pretty cush. Like, there's not a lot of expectations here.
It's very sad to see how far that program's fallen.
I don't think, but Matt Rule doesn't strike me as a guy that's like that. But what else? Like, I couldn't believe, like, they kind of treat him with kid gloves up there.
My number 5 is Georgia Tech. It's a bad loss, but not a season ender. I think it does do a bit of damage to Haynes King's Heisman campaign, although his numbers were fantastic. But lose to a 4-loss team already, yikes.
Georgia Tech was also on my list. I had them higher. I had them at 2 just because I thought that was because they were undefeated. I think that was kind of brutal because you've basically turned the ACC now, because everybody has 1 loss, and it's going to be a 1-bid league. So you got to get, like, now they just have to win that. Whoever wins ACC championships in, basically.
Good for Texas A&M, man.
It is true.
Can I have an honorable mention that I completely left off? Tulane. Tulane's not on my list. They should have been. We called that on the B team, by the way. If you'd have bet UTSA, you'd have won big money line. We
called Duke too.
They drilled. UTSA drilled Tulane. Wasn't even close. All right, number 4.
Hold on. I didn't say my number 5 was Houston because they lost at home to West Virginia.
Oh, they're way number 1 on my list.
Houston's my 3.
1. Dude, West Virginia was 2-5 coming in. You were a 14.5-point favorite. And you were in the playoff discussion.
They weren't 2-5. They were 2-6.
2-6. What a 2-win team.
2-6.
And they walked in. They won by 10. And Houston never got it like where it was.
No, they were never really. They were just kind of down by 10 the whole game.
And the other thing is they had the rallying point too, like the rallying cry after the strength and conditioning coach passed away the week before. Like, they had every single reason to go out there and play inspired football. Still playing for your lives in the Big 12 race, in the college football playoff race, and you go out there and lay an egg to a 6-loss team.
A bigger loser than the U of H football team this week, their fan base. What a disgusting crowd for a team that is fighting for a playoff spot.
Well,
in a city of how many people? How many? 2 million people in Houston?
Probably closer to 4.
Okay, and you can't fill a 40,000 seat stadium. I know they've had a hard time doing that to begin with, but come on, man. Like, if I'm Willie Fritz and I'm 64 years old and I'm looking around at that and I'm going, I've got this team 6-1, 7-1, whatever it is, and we're in the thick of a playoff conversation, and that's what shows up on a Saturday, I'm going to go, okay, where can I'm in the twilight of my career. Where can I go to get one final punch where people are going to care about what I'm doing?
Yeah.
All right, so that was my number 1 rant on Houston. Number 4 for me was Vanderbilt. We can go quick.
4 is Miami for me. I mean,
I got them at 2.
I don't know why I expected more from Carson Beck or a Mario Cristobal head coach, but
Carson Beck really good at blaming other people.
You're completely out of the race. You guys stink.
Really good at blaming other people.
Yeah, I had
Really good at looking two different directions at the same time too.
I had Miami at 1 because that's what 2 in a row.
No, they
had something in between, but it's still bad.
How did that ugly mug ever get a Cavender twin?
Vanderbilt at 3 was, and then Cincy was my 4 because they just got.
Yep.
They were actually at a point where I was like, you know what, they could do something. They had the ball.
Yep, Sorsby looked good early.
Yeah, and then they got the ball in the third quarter down 24-14. I was like, you know what, they can make this comeback. And then I looked away from the TV and I looked back and it was 38-14, and I was like, oof, never mind.
Yeah, I compared to Sorsby to Jackson Dart early in the game because he was giving me Jackson Dart vibes, and then more like Jackson Fart at the end. Cincinnati was my 3. Your 3?
My 3 was UH.
Cade 3.
Vanderbilt.
My 2 was Miami.
My 2 was Auburn.
My 2 was Miami.
Okay, we've already talked about Auburn. Yep. 1 Houston for me.
YouTube TV subscribers.
Talked about that already.
Sorry.
My 1 was Miami. Georgia Tech was my 2. My bad.
Oh, okay. All right. So, top 5 drive-thrus. I think we're going to get some parity in this list. And because how you view drive-thru, I think is different. Like, what are we talking about here? You're talking about quality of food. Can you eat it in the car? Does it satisfy a specific hunger or quench a specific thirst? Are you a sweets guy? Are you a savory guy? I think all that goes into your top 5 drive-thrus. Number 5 for me, I'm a little bit embarrassed to put it on here, but I am because I don't eat it often. But when I do, I spend about $25. And then I spend about 25 hours on the can after. It's Taco Bell.
Taco Bell is also 5 on my list. I love Taco Bell, and it doesn't wreck me like it wrecks most people.
They don't have fried catfish there.
Yeah, that's true. They don't have fried catfish. Fried catfish is my number 1 op right now. I will routinely get like 6 crunchy tacos from Taco Bell and polish them off in about 10 minutes.
What kind of salsa?
Don't put any on it.
Oh, yeah, you're not a sauce guy.
Just go with it. Just bang. They're gone. I had actually Friday night after that volleyball game, A&M beat Texas. After that World Series game, Dodgers stay alive. Jenna brought me home 4 crunchy tacos for dinner.
Nice. What's your 5K?
10:45.
In similar fashion to that, I had McDonald's at 5, just classic OG.
Okay. Number 4 for me, it's not a battle. I could make it a battle in terms of the food I enjoy more, and I like different elements of one over the other, but in terms of just drive-through, the locally owned Lane's Chicken Fingers. You're in and out. It's cheap. They're doing new collector's cups now.
They have spicy tenders now.
And they do have spicy tenders.
Oh, they have spicy tenders?
Yep.
Yeah, they're
I didn't know
good.
that.
So I'm on Lane's at number 4.
I like Lane's a lot, but at 4 on my list is their number 1 op. I went with Cane's. It's just so easy to get in and out of, and I do like their lemonade a lot, and they have the
Liquid diabetes. It's good, though.
They've got the Post Malone Dallas Cowboys Cane's up in DFW. It's kind of funny to just drive by it, and it's like lit up all blue and silver. It's kind of funny.
Cade?
My number 4 is Popeyes, despite them always taking forever when I have to drive through there. But their sweet tea is awesome.
The biscuits.
And the biscuits they're very dry, but they're also very good.
They're buttery.
And
dunk them in red beans and rice. Oh, it's good.
I liked Popeyes.
And, Popeyes is awesome.
I still love Popeyes, the quote-unquote spicy chicken, and then they did away with it, but I loved their dirty rice as a side. It was so good.
Dirty rice. All right, let's go quick. We're running out of time here on the show. Number 3 for me, even though they've sold out, I'm still going to go Whataburger. Anything on Texas toast, the patty melt, delicious. The honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich, delicious. The honey butter chicken biscuit, delicious.
Will you stop copying me? Whataburger is also 3 on my list. My favorite right now is the Buffalo Ranch chicken strip sandwich.
Great. It's great.
Great.
Cade?
Now my number 3 is Cane's because I like when they say like their like little tagline when you get
chicken.
Yeah,
what combo are you picking?
Exactly, and then also their sweet tea I think better than Popeyes, but also liquid diabetes as you mentioned previously.
Number 2 for me is Mackie D's.
Mackie D's. It's good. McDonald's not on my list. They are the OG. Maybe should have been on my list.
They had the dollar menu, and you had the hot and spices. Oh, they were good.
I love McDonald's. I don't love what McDonald's does to me though. It's got the same effect as fried catfish, so I don't go there. Number 2 on my list, Chick-fil-A. I worked there in high school. Did you know that?
You've told me that before.
My pleasure.
Where are you from? Flower Mound?
No. Yeah. That's true.
Okay, all right. We got to go. Let's go.
Yeah. Well, let's go. My number 2 is Sonic because I like the setup. And I appreciate the setup, and their cherry limeade is the best.
All right.
Kind of started a bit with one of my buddies from college. After every Texas A&M football win, we go get the Sonic Smasher on the next Sunday, and out of respect to Marcel Reed and Ruben Owens II.
All right, my number 1. It's here in College Station. It's in San Marcos. I think they got one in Dallas now. Fuego.
Fuego? That one in Waco,
wow.
too. Did you know that?
Yep, Fuego.
Number 1 on my list, Culver's, dude. Every time I'm home in Flower Mound, I will hit a Culver's run, maybe once, maybe twice. Get myself a concrete
If we had a Culver's
mixer.
here, probably going to be on my list.
I'd go to Culver's all the
Also
time.
a
I'm glad I
Brahms.
don't. Brahms, yes. Brahms is
We don't have
good.
Brahms here, though.
My number 1 is Chick-fil-A. They're quick and efficient, and they always get my order right.
Quick and efficient, just how we're getting out of here. We'll see you tomorrow on a We Learned Wednesday edition of the B Team. Again, thank you to our sponsor, Southwood Valley Animal Hospital. We'll see y'all tomorrow.